The number one. The number one. How do you read this kanji? Ichi. Ichi. Ichi means the number one. Number one, or the best. Number one, or the best. How do you read this word? Ichiban. Ichiban. Ichiban means number one, the best. The best in the world. The best in the world. How do you read this word? Sekaiichi. Sekaiichi. Sekaiichi means the best in the world. One day. One day. How do you read this word? Ichinichi. Ichinichi. Ichinichi means one day or a day. All day. All day. How do you read this word? Ichinichi chu. Ichinichi chu. Ichinichi chu means all day. One lap. One lap. How do you read this word? Issue. Issue. Issue means one lap or around. 1 week. 1 week. How do you read this word? Ishukan. Ishukan. Ishukan means 1 week. One thing. One thing. How do you read this word? Ikko. Ikko. Ikko means one thing. Japanese language. Japanese language. How do you read this word? Nihongo. Nihongo. Nihongo means Japanese language. All day long. All day long. How do you read this word? Ichinichi chu. Ichinichi chu. Ichinichi chu means all day long. Day. Day. How do you read this word? He mean day. Anniversary. How do you read this word? 기념비. 기념비 means anniversary. Today. How do you read this word? Kyo. Mean today. Tomorrow. How do you read this word? Ashita. Mean tomorrow. Yesterday. How do you read this word? Kino. Mean yesterday. Japanese people. How do you read this word? Nihonjin. Mean Japanese. This kanji mean day, sun, Japan. On Yumi reading. Nichi, jitsu. Kun Yumi reading. Hi, bi, ga. Now let's see some example of how we use this kanji with another kanji. Date and time. How do you read this word? Nichiji. Nichiji means date and time. Holiday or day off. How do you read this word? Kyujitsu. Appointed. How do you read this word? Dojitsu. Mean appointed or that day. Weekday. Ordinary day. How do you read this word? Heijitsu. Mean weekday or ordinary day. The other day or a few days ago. The other day or a few days ago. How do you read this word? Senjitsu. Senjitsu. National holiday. National holiday. How do you read this word? Shokujitsu. Shokujitsu. Schedule or program. Schedule or program. How do you read this word? Nitte. Nitte. Nitte means schedule or program. Japan. Japan. How do you read this word? Nihon. Nihon. Nihon means Japan. This is about the meaning and how to read this kanji. This kanji means day, sun, Japan. And the ongyumi reading be read like Nichi, Jitsu. And the kunyumi reading like Hi, Bi, Ga. Now let's see how we use this kanji with another kanji to make a compound word. The same day. The same day. How do you read this word? Dojitsu. Dojitsu. Dojitsu means the same day. The day before. The day before. How do you read this word? Zenjitsu. Zenjitsu. Zenjitsu means the day before or the previous day. Every day. Every day. How do you read this word? Mainichi. Mainichi. Mainichi means every day. Ordinary, regular. Ordinary, regular. How do you read this word? Nichijou. Nichijou. Nichijou means ordinary or regular. This means the regular day. Diary or journal. Diary or journal. How do you read this word? Nikki. Nikki. Nikki means diary or journal. Sunlight. Sunlight. How do you read this word? Nikko. Nikko. Nikko means sunlight. few days, few days. How do you read this word? 数日、数日、数日 means few days. Next day, next day. How do you read this word? 翌日、翌日。One anymore, one anymore. How do you read this word? 一匹、一匹。一匹 means one anymore. When you want to count animal, you can use 一匹 to count for one animal or a animal. One person alone. One person alone. How do you read this word? 一人、一人。一人 means one person or alone. One thing, one thing. How do you read this word? 一つ、一つ。一つ means one thing. First day of the month. First day of the month. How do you read this word? 1日、1日。1日 means the first day of the month. 金、金。How do you read this word? 国王、国王。国王 means king. South Korea, South Korea. How do you read this word? 韓国、韓国。韓国 means South Korea. China, China. How do you read this word? 中国、中国。中国 means China. America, USA. America, USA. How do you read this word? 米国、米国。米国 means United States of America or America. Pupil, pupil. How do you read this word? 人形、人形。人形 mean pupil. Friend, friend. How do you read this word? 友人、友人。 Eugene means friend. Criminal. Criminal. How do you read this word? Hangnin. Hangnin. Hangnin means criminal. Adult. Adult. How do you read this word? Sejin. Sejin. Sejin means adult. Soldier. Soldier. How do you read this word? Gungjin. Gungjin. Humanity. Humanity. How do you read this word? Jinri. Jinri. Jinri means humanity. Own person. Own person. How do you read this word? Lojin. Lojin. Lojin means own person. Life. Life. How do you read this word? Jinse. Jinse. Jinse means popularity. Popularity. How do you read this word? Ninki. Ninki. Ninki means popularity. Same person. Same person. How do you read this word? Dojin. Dojin. Representative. Representative. How do you read this word? Dining. Dining. Dining means representative. Venice. Venice. How do you read this word? Shonin. Shonin. Shonin means Venice. Giant. Giant. How do you read this word? Kyojin. Kyojin. Kyojin means giant. Human being. Human being. How do you read this word? Ningen. Ningen. Ningen means human being. Individual. Individual. How do you read this word? Kojin. Kojin. Kojin means individual. newcomer, newcomer. How do you read this word? Xin Jin, Xin Jin. Xin Jin means newcomer. Foreign country, foreign country. How do you read this word? Gaikoku, Gaikoku. International, international. How do you read this word? Kokusai, kokusai. Kokusai means international. Nationality, nationality. How do you read this kanji, this word? Kokuseki, kokuseki. Kokuseki means nationality. National, national. How do you read this word? Kokuritsu, kokuritsu. Kokuritsu means national. National language, national language. How do you read this word? Kokugo, kokugo. Kokugo means national language. Homeland, homeland. How do you read this word? Bokoku, bokoku. Bokoku means homeland. Countrywide, countrywide. How do you read this word? Zenkoku, Zenkoku. Zenkoku means countrywide. Foreigner, foreigner. How do you read this word? Gaikokujin, Gaikokujin. Gaikokujin means foreigner.